Oh, oh my goodness. I am tardy. I apologize for being tardy, but I think that's all I am going to be apologizing about tonight because well, number one, it's Thursday. I'm live and I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood to talk about um a lot of stuff folks ain't be wanting to talk about, and I'm feeling some kind of way about it. But I'm gonna manage to smile. How about that? Because I'm trying to not let stuff take my peace. You know what I mean? But you gotta speak on the truth, especially with all this bullshit going on today, and you know, from one day to the next, the type of stuff we hearing, and it's like I give it a triple take. Because everything don't stand up to scrutiny. You dig? And when you start turning over stones and pointing at folks and saying, hey, how come you folks don't know how to act? When you get at them like that, it's like everybody expect everything to be, you know, textbook ending. You know what I mean? And that ain't how the world works. You know what I mean? And I be trying to keep it a buck with folks. But um they refuse to acknowledge facts in the United States of America about certain things, about certain thought processes. Am I getting to it too soon, y'all? Am I getting to it too soon? Um oh, everybody got reasons why this US Israel Iran conflict thing is going on. Do we know why it's going on? Do we know why it's going on? Do we really know why it's going on? And do we know why Iran would say something like we ain't got no problem with the black people as if it would ever be a threat to us. But I guess where I'm at with it is why did they say that? That's where I'm at with that. Why did they say that? I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna show you a picture. Question. What are you looking at right now? Now, don't try to be all PC. I want you to tell me what them children's nationality is just by looking at them. Just what their nationality is. I sit here. I'll wait a second for you because I know it's like a 7 second lag between me and y'all. So I will shoot. I could probably pay a bill by the time y'all see. Damn you, educated people. But yeah, see, First one up is the first correct answer. And yes, they are Southern. I see you came a little too late, Kamoya. The correct answer was Southern Iranian. And now look at them. Look at them. That look like Craig and them around the corner. You know what I'm saying? That look like them Barclays and them Jacksons. And then look at them noses, man. Ain't nothing pointing about. All round and ghetto looking. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't have a problem with black people. And in that same thought, that same epiphany for me is that why they like to fuck with the Middle East and Iranian countries. That and oil is why they like fucking with people in the middle. Because they can't just flat out say we want to attack all African looking motherfuckers. They gotta be, even with their conquest, they gotta be PC. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it is what it is. You dig? That's why Iran ain't got no beef with us. Because in their mind, their worldview, we are them. We are them. That look like some guys. I know them. These folks look like some cats I know from around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's too real. For me, that's the boom. That's the oh shit moment. And I mean, and it didn't happen yesterday or last week. You know when it happened for me? In middle, was it middle school? Nah, grade school. You know what I'm saying? With the Iran crisis. That was, man, my mind was completely blown. They let the black people go? They let the black people go? Mama, I don't understand. Why they let the black people go? That's why they let the black people go. And that's why they don't have no beef. Well, we are the, I mean, by and large, we could learn a lot from adapting a worldview nationally. You know, so the more conservative minded of us would call that socialism or communism. But I mean, if everybody's perverts, ain't that kind of a socialist way of thinking? If 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 everybody's PDOs, ain't that a socialist way of thinking? I mean, think about it. That's socialist. If everybody's cool with it, we'll let you. You just gotta write it down and make it official, huh? I'm having that shake, Kamoyo. I finally made it, and I put some of that kefir in it, and the bananas are helping. the bananas and berries are helping a lot. Cause brother, woo. Anyways, I gotta pull down an image, y'all, because I know y'all are expecting nothing less than the very, very best from your boy, and doggone it, I aims to deliver. I might be late. On this one, and I will go ahead and I will take a Negro you late on this one, but it's gotta be done. While I'm doing it, let me say hello, Rock With Me Nation, soon to be a LLC, or at least a website, from what I heard. I know my man's in them is in the building, Kamoyo King, who tell y'all to do that right there, and Grand Madam, who's always in here, who I can trust. She's trustworthy. She's dependable. Let's say that. Yeah. Groovy in the building, my dude. What's going on? And Nancy in the building, my dude. What's going on? Theo in the building, my dude. What's going on? And we all kicking in here. What you say, Kefir is yogurt for Klingon. You ain't lying. Oh boy, it made me want to chop somebody. What can I say? Well, like as I say, better late than never. I might be late, but we gonna drag this heifer tonight. Bruh. 220 million on a PSA. I did PSAs at the university up here for free. For your information, yeah, we know that with the money she spent on her commercial, you could have made Sinners what? 8 times? Because Sinner was like what, 60? 60 times 4? Yeah, 7. Shit. Excuse my language. But I know she fired. I know. Why are you harping on it, D? Because that shit needs to be spoke on. You know what I mean? Bruh, when the average Marvel movies base cost is 220 million, you could have made fucking Star Wars for 220 million. You wasn't doing nothing but a commercial, heifer. What? Here's what I think. Because for the price of a Super Bowl commercial, and this is the comparison I make because I wanted to really hit home. Commercial. Hers might have, what was that, 30 seconds, minute, something like that. 220 million gone. That's her. Super Bowl, high end. One Super Bowl commercial, 10 million. You see what can go into a Super Bowl commercial if you've ever watched a Super Bowl commercial. special effects, CGI, all that shit. Nowhere near 220 million. Just a commercial. So here's my theory, y'all. $10 million of that, 220 million, went into this bullshit ass commercial, and the other 210 million went in that heifer's pocket. And when they find out for sure, her ass is grass. That's my theory. I could be 100% wrong, and I will eat that crow when it comes. But for me, that's where the fuck that money went. And when when they had her in front of the committee, and an old girl was bombing her, and she was sitting there looking at her like a parent telling their child, "I'm like, if you ever do that shit again, I'll whoop your ass. And when I get home from work, I probably will. So you better be looking for it." You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you when. You know what I'm saying? I know some people have parents do that. I ain't gonna tell you when, but you getting the whooping tonight. Sometime tonight. I don't know when. And have you sitting there dreading it and wondering when the fuck is it coming? Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's terror. You know what I mean? And that's what she's sitting there with. Now, I ain't gonna say nothing about all the surgery that the woman done had. But, you know, that's her business. If she want to look like that, she can look like that. That's her. But don't be wasting up our money. You using our money to make that shit. You know what I mean? That's where I'm pissed off at. You know what I mean? You can stand in front of Mount Rushmore and say whatever the fuck you want to say, but don't use my money to do it if you putting it in your pocket, huh? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it. Well, let's keep this a buck. You know? Why do I gotta pay for you know what I mean? It don't. The math ain't mathing, girl, and you need to explain it. You explain it to me so that I, you know, like a child, because I apparently I need the child explanation for whatever it is this broad thought she was doing. You know what I mean? Well, you say 220 million for a PSA starring the gnome. Oh, damn, is that what those jobs going for now? 200 million? Shit. Now, Miss McCollin. Yeah, the taxpayers' money, B. Our money, our guap, our cheese. Shit. Get the, you know what I mean? Hey, Paul Martin. As you can tell from the picture. for the money this cyborg wasted on a $220 million PSA, she could have made 220 Super Bowl commercials. So, yeah, she pocketed some money. Or she did something with some money. She did something she ain't got no business doing with some money. Because if Hollywood can't justify $220 million in 5 minutes, in 1 minute, how long is a commercial? 30 seconds? 1 minute? And okay, I give you benefit of the doubt. 1 minute if it's Super Bowl caliber, which it wasn't. How you gonna justify you try to get somebody professional to cram $220 million worth of production? Ain't no $220 million worth of production in that bullshit. Look at that background. That's from the commercial right there. Do that look ILM level? You know what I mean? I come on, man. Man, why they playing? Why they playing? Juju, what's going on, my dog? What's going on? Appreciate you, bruh. Appreciate you coming out tonight. But yeah, man, I'm just, if this is not the best example of corruption on the highest levels of government, what y'all want me to do? Maybe when they was talking about draining the swamp, they was referring to themselves. They the gators and snakes that need to be pulled out and chopped up. Shoot. They act like we as Americans ain't hip to. I mean, we've been hip to it for a long time. That if they do, our government does not show us that they give a rat's ass about us, and it shows by like the people who can just sit. And I think I said it in a live maybe not too long ago. For evil to prevail, all that is for good men to do nothing. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist. And that's what's happening right now. It's just like straight up crimes. I'm waiting for some superheroes to swoop up out the sky and smack the shit out of Washington and make everything right. But I know that's just like a fantasy, and just, but it's just so much cowardice and mendacity and division running rampant in this freaking country, and anybody who thinks different ain't been nowhere or is brainwashed. I mean, here's what you do. If you think that I am full of it, this is all you need to do. Disengage from these screens. Just get up, walk away from the motherfuckers right now, and go out into that world and interact with people with the intention of not being offensive or not being offended, without punching someone in the face and without the expectation of getting punched in the face. Not naivete, but just trusting that all men are good men and will at least give you the honesty or the decency of, saying get them up or whatever, And in this candy coated world, what is it we're expecting to have happen? It ain't gonna happen because it don't fucking exist. You know what I'm saying? People are shitty to each other, depending on whatever given day for whatever reason. And that's what this country is. And I don't think the goal is to get everybody thinking the same way or forcing everybody to you'd rather have a dictatorship over free will. Really, y'all? I'm not saying y'all like y'all, but really, that's what you're looking for? That's what you want? That's what, I don't get that part. Gamoyo say apathy and cowardice are their safe space. That's too bad, because they're suffering too. They just don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? And cowering behind being rich is probably the weakest thing you can do. Well, I have my money over here and I don't care about my fellow man. That's socialist shit, huh? Yeah. My bad. But yeah, since we're in kind of a mood, can I segue into kind of a, I don't know, sort of a United States of America sort of thing? Because I had this graphic that I was gonna use to try to get people to understand how divided we truly are. Okay. In the upper left-hand corner, that's Alaska. And believe it or not, that's to scale. Yes, that's how big Alaska is. Compared, and it ain't even showing the top half of Alaska. So, yeah, that's how big Alaska is. For those of you that didn't know, compared to the continental United States. Then, lower left, of course, that is the islands, Hawaii. And then lower right, that is Puerto Rico. That's where the Boricua live. And then, of course, continental United States, where most of you are. That is geographical division. That's the type of division that can't be avoided. But within each division, there's different regions of thought. And I'll tell you what all of that boils down to in whatever region you're in whatever part of the country you're in, north, south, east, west. Affluence. It boils down to levels of affluence, because in every last one of these parts of the country, you got rich neighborhoods, you got poor neighborhoods, you got quote unquote rich places where you shop, and then there's the poor places, the Pack and Saves, the Burlingtons, and the what have yous. And that's it, and that just is what that is. So why don't we let the things we have in common unite us versus divide us? It's what we, at least we as African American people, have always done, is we've taken a negative and we've turned it into something positive. This, in my mindset, is no different. We're going to have obstacles, and that's what I'm worried about, is us. You know what I'm saying? Us first. Then, when we get, because we done always did our best work independent of any influence but our own. When we allow ourselves to be consumed, and I don't even want to get into that because it's going to evoke some thoughts, and some people ain't going to like some shit, and it just is what it is. But there's division. I ain't even arguing the division, and it ain't even about the geographical division. In each one of these regions, you're going to have people that don't get along with each other. You know what I'm saying? Right here. In New York City, there are sections where affluence and less affluence are only a few blocks apart. And I will be the first one to tell you, sir, that in Anchorage, Alaska, depend on how you define blocks. Because I can cross a railroad track and walk up a hill, and I'm in another neighborhood altogether, and it's a different level of affluence. So yeah, I get that. Yeah, definitely. And it is a testament to either how much we're expanding or how much we're demolishing in this country. And sometimes it's like I might sit around and be, people thinking I'm on bleeding heart causes, or what I'm saying, I'm I have very leftist ways about me. Yeah, I do. And I don't look at that as a negative. And anybody who is down with freaking fairness and decency, it shouldn't be no different. You know what I mean? And you should want to be a decent human being. Nothing spectacular about that. I mean, does it make sense? Because to me, that makes I go out of my house and treat people the way I expect to be treated. Respect. Let me tell you, I done almost lost jobs behind respect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that important. Sometimes we have to be reminded that certain of us are due respect, but I feel like bottom line, respect begins at the basis of levels. And what do people respect on the basis of levels? Affluence. Everybody. If you say, because I can, and there ain't nothing you can name that get a person respect that money can't buy. That's a terrible thing to say, but where's the lie at? Other than maybe clergymen, they a different thing altogether. This not counting the clergy. What else is there that it ain't? It's something you got to buy. If you like my nice car, if you like my nice clothes, if you like what I give you, if you like what I put on you, and put you in and around, and you know what I'm saying? That's affluence, and you getting it, and there ain't no problem. Who don't want affluence in their life? Unfortunately, for physical reasons, for intellectual reasons, for educational reasons, and for systemic reasons, we ain't all equal. It's the rule that says a person with a college degree is going to get a job before a person who doesn't have one. That's a fact. There are exceptions to that rule, but by and large, you come in for a job, and there's mugs who applying for that job, and they got degrees upon degrees, and you coming in with your associates. What you gonna do? See what I'm saying? A BS trumps a AS all day. What Bob Martin talking about? I had a grown ass homie who thought only rich people owned homes. I told him the all in the family Roseanne and Married with Children families weren't sci-fi. No, they were not. I went to school with Caucasian families like that, but they did well in life. They did very well. Shouts out to the D. Simones, the Dawsons, and the Tancredis, and any other of my Caucasian brothers that I went to school with and grew up and threw up with. And I know y'all doing well, and I got so much love and respect for y'all because y'all had so much love and respect for the hood. Anyway, that being said, what are we gonna talk about next? Dang, I got real mad at Kristi and went on a tangent. Okay, all right, let me get back let me get back on track. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start with political topics, it turns very incendiary very quickly, at least here on Thursdays with me. So let me bring it down. Let me bring it back down to the world of comics and sci-fi so that you understand from the trappings. I am a person of that universe. So this is the kind of topic matter that we gonna have here. For instance, I now disclaimer, I did not make this meme. I did not make this piece of I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just displaying it right now. It is not made by, it don't have nothing to do with Obsidian Moon Entertainment or me. But where the lie at? Is that why they want Milestone to be integrated into their universe so badly so they can say, "Ooh, look, see, I told you we was doing stuff for the good black people of the nerd world." Yeah, I saw it before it went down. That's why I was like, They try, and I got videos prove it. Yeah, I got receipts. I said it. You know what I'm saying? I like, they trying too hard, you know what I'm saying, to get that milestone, up under their wing to let you know milestone by DC. You know what I'm saying? They was trying a little too hard to make all of that, and now it's all interwrapped and ensconced now. Oh, our one big history. You know what I mean? We can revise like we need to, but I mean, you were never, well, I ain't gonna say never, but in the 70s they tried. Yeah, they tried with the affirmative action super friends, and you know what I'm saying, you got the Native American, you got the brother, you got the Asian guy, and then later on I know they had El Dorado, and I mean, of course, El Dorado, he's got to be Latino, right? You know what I mean? And Zan and Jaina, even though they alien, they almost kind of look Asian. So it's like, all right, see what we doing? We got aliens and aliens. So it's like, I meant that in a nice way. Don't take that no other way. But weren't they in a place, you know what I mean, at one point where they knew they needed to do more of this? I ultimately they got control of that. Is where I'm at with it. You don't have a single monthly black title. And I know it's been a while. Now, I know I forget one of these content creators, or not content creator, content providers, social media influencers had a clock going. I think it was. And I know it's been like a couple hundred days since we've seen anything remotely non-white from them. Damn. I guess you can't say nah. I mean, I can't. I got nothing. I got nothing. There's no rational way to explain that. Right there. No rational way to explain it. And say diversity. That shit does not say diversity when you look at that lineup. That lineup ain't close to saying fucking diversity. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's been that way for decades. The status quo, the 7, if you will. Tell me you see it. Please tell me you see it. When the concept of the Justice League come around, 1961. Well, I tell you what, DC. Aliens and non-European action figures are what I'm going to be looking for. Unless y'all figure something out. Just saying. I mean, bruh, you can't. DC KO, I had to step back and take a look, and I looked at it, and as much as I was enjoying it, something in my spirit was saying, bruh, this ain't for us. I mean, in that way, you know what I mean? Because I mean, I could read a different book from a different company, and I wouldn't get that same kind of energy, even though it might be that same kind of setup, if that makes sense. It was just from DC was the vibe I was getting, because the writing, at least on that book, seemed kind of like they didn't understand me, how I thought. You know what I mean? And I don't want to keep jocking something that I feel like I'm being ignored or overlooked. You know what I mean? Isn't that fair? Or I mean, isn't that something you do? If you know, if you were in my shoes and you felt like you was getting DC so white energy from all of their titles, you know what I'm saying? I mean, other than the absolute stuff, what are we doing over there? That's got anybody's attention. At least mine, anyway. That's the only thing, you know what I'm saying? Swung around the table to the LCS to check out the absolutes. That was it. You know what I mean? Well, ain't no new absolute. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that, or if they give an Absolute Zatanna a book, I hope they do give Absolute Zatanna a book, because she's absolutely interesting. I did not mean to do that, but from what I've read so far of her in Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman, I like. You know what I'm saying? Because she's still that powerful being, and she seems a little more ruthless, quicker to use vicious magic on people, as it were. Um, that part. I know it's been a lot. I like I said, that's why I say I was just skimming through stuff and I noticed that because I had seen a graphic and I was going to show it on one of the lives, but I'm like, damn, it's been a while. I mean, that's a long time. Still, that's a long time. That's a long ass time. I wonder what it would be like too, Anansi. But I bet you see an absolute black lightning before you see an absolute amazing man. Just keeping it real, dog. Just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they if how they gonna think outside the box and go, hey, let's see if we can get an absolute amazing man going here. Wide open territory. Ain't nobody messing with Marcus Clay. We could even just go back and say he's Will Everett and make it. We can do what we want to do. Nope. They didn't have that kind of energy towards it. And that's my whole thing, man. It would be such an easy thing to do. Just start out small. Get that Justice League from that Jeff Johns run. You keep what you got right here, and then just put in Vixen, Black Lightning, John Stewart, and Steel, and we call it good. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a little pepper in there with that salt. You know what I'm saying? And or even Mr. Terrific. You absolutely right. Yeah, you read the Terrifics. The Terrifics was a temporary title. It was never meant to go any further than 6 issues. See what I'm saying? There ain't been no black monthlies, is what they saying, for 1,000 days. There ain't been a black monthly. The FUX. You know what I mean? That's something. You know what I mean? Even over at Dynamite, they got some black stuff. I mean, it's TV shows and it's a character that's, I mean, but it's some black showing up monthly. You know what I mean? Maybe not in Space Ghost, but but I mean, it's yeah. Other titles, you done seen some people of color. Look at that. And then they villains is Caucasian. You know what I mean? So that's all we getting. Who you putting up against? Lex Luthor, white. Who you putting up against? Brainiac. Oh, he's an alien, but he's the archetype of a white man. But you got Dark Side. Come on now, keep it a buck. If we had to give Dark Side a color, what color would you be giving it to him? Look at his son. White. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's white. Even the alien folks is white. That's your perfect opportunity to make somebody black. Let's make them a black. Hey, aliens, they black. Or we gonna complain about it. But at least you would have some damn black aliens, and you could have one of them join the Justice League. Make Adam Strange black. But no, don't make Adam Strange black. I don't want you to make nobody black. Put some black characters in there. Or if you want to, you can have a black character join and Just be your own personal character, just somebody out of nowhere, and they be black. And you can get a credit for putting black characters where they need to be. Now, for this next part of the show, I do not know what direction it's gonna go in. Can we have a polite conversation about nerds? Blerds, nerds, words, whatever you feel the title deserves. Oh, did I just bust one? I did. As a content provider who is black, yeah, first, let me say, my presence in front of a camera lets you know this is a black comic book experience. Okay? Even if the material presented is 100% white characters, white scenario, white artists, white writers, guess what? It's still being presented to you in a format by a black man. Okay, simple. Black man talking about white shit. But you getting the black perspective of it. That's still the black content provider. It's not the black content provider you might be looking for, but it's the black content provider. And believe me, they out there. Some people prefer black content providers who code switch their ethnicity. I do that from time to time, and that's simply because I'm educated and I know how to speak in a way that both the thug and the thespian would respect. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like that's a talent you should have. You don't have to have it, but it's a talent you should have if you're gonna be sitting in front of somebody's camera trying to tell somebody some shit. At least do it with some style. I don't know the best ways to effectively promote all things black, but I do know the ways I know. See what I'm saying? And possibly if we were able to come together and collaborate, what we don't know can become known through a synthesis of our shared experiences. I think I put that right educatedly. And this is not an extension and not an extension. And yeah, maybe an extension of what we do now to maybe create a behind the scenes sort of kinship, if you will, for future endeavors. That a good way to put it? Did I put it a good way? Okay. I'm using my mouthpiece, y'all. I'm using my mouthpiece. That's what I do. But yeah, DC is effing white and they need to get it together. I hope I don't lose sleep behind it. Aha. On to something fun, damn it. Theo, I know you recognize this, sir. I know you recognize this. Tell me, anybody, what's the highest you've seen this go for? Go ahead, just put it in the comments. Put it in the comments because I might clip this, and we can have us our own little thing going on. Right. So, this is Marvel Legends Squadron Supreme Power Princess. What have you seen it going for? My man Theo B, he said he's seen this bitty go for $140. Kamayo say he seen this Betty go for $1 bill. For those of you that don't know how to code switch, that is street for $100. What is that power print? Yeah, read, man. Yeah, that's Power Prince from Squadron Supreme. You've never seen, they don't have this in New York City. I'm shocked. How did I get it? Well, they didn't have it in Alaska either. But you know what? This is what's so crazy to me about it. The price on this action figure has fluctuated so much. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know me. I got 2 of them. I took a picture of 2 of them and I showed Kamoyo and Theo. I got 2 of them. Okay. I ain't paying no $140. I didn't pay $240 for 2 of these. I ain't paid $200 for them. Okay. But they out there for freaking what they saying. You go on eBay, don't go, not to buy this. Don't go on eBay to buy this, but shoot, don't go on Amazon either, because Amazon got like $60, $70 ones. So if you ain't watching this, you ain't gonna get this info. I don't know if they got any left, but Big Bad Toy Store has them for $27.99. In public service announcement. Bruh, that is the very reason I got 2. This one right here that you're looking at, this one ain't coming out the box. It's staying just like this right here. So when it do be $1,000 and whatever, because I'm like, it's climbing like a Barbie, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, it's worth that much already. Power Princess? Why? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking, but it's like it be them crazy, weird, off-brand characters that somebody goes, I like that. I will pay $10,000 for it. And that's how it just skyrockets. You know what I mean? I could totally not have any idea what I'm talking about right now, but that sounds like that make a whole lot of sense to me. Paul Martin, getting off topic. I digress. A live-action Squadron Supreme movie could potentially have been more interesting than the Eternals, or potentially called a ripoff of the Justice League. So, yeah, could you afford to chance it is the question. Because don't forget, Justice League came out right around that same time. So if you was, well, before, actually, no, Justice League came out like 3-4 years before Eternals. So still, you know what I mean? That'd have been risky in my mind. But anyways, anywho, black nerds are what black nerds are. Blerds, comic book collectors, action figure collectors, fantasy collectors. Fantasy collectors. That's what I am. I'm a fantasy collector. I collect fantasy. What kind of fantasy? What kind of fantasy you got? Is it printed? Is it an action figure? You know what I'm saying? Is it something I can put on my wall? You know what I'm saying? I ain't quite that weirded out dude that everything around that. Well, I might be. There's something fantasy or super heroic on the wall in every room of my house. Let me think about it. Got Vampire Hunter D and Secret Wars in the bedroom. You see all of that right there in this room. My daughter's got anime shit on her wall. I got a Black Panther mirror downstairs, a mirror and a clock. It's the same wall. I got Lionel's sword on my wall. Actually, I had a couple fans. I got a whole rack of swords. I finally put my sword rack up again. I was tired of them all sitting in the corner in here. And I freed up space in here. On a side note, I will buy a Drider if they made an action figure. Maybe how hard would it be to make, Loth? We went D&D for a second there, y'all. I'm sorry. Well, since I'm on up notes and shit, you know, let's do some up note stuff. Have we seen this movie yet, y'all? Have we seen this movie yet? Because I think Theo told you about it like a whole week ago. So you had a week to watch it. So are we gonna talk about it or not? Y'all tell me, because if y'all don't want to talk about it, I damn sure got another backup topic. So so don't even trip because I keep the grippity grip. Now, you saw war. What you saw war? Okay. Well, then I say this nostalgia for you boys at toward the end. So, initially, when I watched this movie, the first half hour, maybe 45 minutes, was spent establishing the fact that he wanted to be a ranger really, really bad. I think they could have saved more time by condensing that story and then making it more meaningful in smaller flashbacks throughout the training situation. Because I feel like they spent way too much time establishing what they was trying to establish. And I don't hate the movie. I don't hate the movie. But this Negro. Here you go. All the way. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, that appeals to me because I am a veteran of the military. So when I see military shit and when Theo sees military shit, we automatically get excited because we want to go, all right, let me see how authentic this shit is. You know what I'm saying? Is that for real? Nah. Ooh, they actually did their research. Like shit like Top Gun. I'm impressed. And then later on, I found out a couple of them scenes they shot on the ship I was on. So I was like, I was in Top Gun. Technically, my ship was in Top Gun. But anyways, I don't feel, and that's the thing though. It didn't take that long to misdirect, because like, here's my gauge. My wife. My wife is my gauge because we sitting here, we watching, and just like what you're saying, we 15 minutes into the film, which ain't that long. You know what I'm saying? He's going through the trauma and shit, his brother and blah, 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 and all of that. And my wife is like, is this a military movie? Is this? I'm like, just hang on, just wait for it. So already, and that's, so she's already at that level, like, y'all about to lose me. So that's what I say. Maybe that part of the movie could have been made shorter. I'm not saying it didn't work for me. Because like I said, I love military shit. So okay, yeah, I liked it. Come on now. I mean, I'm military shit. I was around fucking Marines and SEALs and all of that shit. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I like that shit? But I guess since it's Rangers, it's like we got to give you one hell of an opponent. You know what I mean? This motherfucker right here. He was Predator for the Army. I'm like, damn, that man. Now, my thing was, well, it wouldn't have mattered because bullets wasn't doing nothing to it anyway. So, yeah, that shit was a problem. Now, and this is what I'll say, why these kind of movies work. These kind of movies work when motherfuckers just get grossly, hellishly, hilariously, horrifyingly overpowered. You know what I'm saying? They was overpowered, overgunned, over you fucking name it. That thing had they number. I feel like, okay, yeah, it was made even worse because they didn't have actual working weapons for a while. But even when they did get the weapons, it was like, you ain't doing nothing. They'd have pew, 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 ha ha, laugh at your shit. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a scenario. And it's like, all you can do is run. And hope you can get past scanning range. Because, bad enough, right? He got superior firepower. I'm blowing every damn thing in front of me out of the water. You know what I'm saying? One took out a whole base full of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you got scanning capabilities. If it's over here and it's alive, we're going to detect it. If it's organic material other than the foliage, I'm fit to shoot it. No, excuse me. First, I'm going to launch smart bullets at it. Then if them don't work, I'm going to launch long-range missiles at them. Then we got the heat-seeking shit. I'm like, what? You're not playing fair. Dude. Then the real fucked up part is it was an invasion. There's more than one. So everything from beginning to end in this movie was a setup for some more shit. The military setup was set up for the sci-fi aspect of it. The sci-fi aspect of it was set up to be singular, and then you find out it's a group thing. Predator, predators. Alien, aliens. War machine, war machines. Oh, you damn right it's going to be a sequel. Oh, yeah. Many motherfuckers watch this movie. Yeah, it's going to be a sequel. You can love it. You can hate it. You can do whatever you want to do with it, but it's going to be a sequel. I'm just letting you know right now. So, when the sequel come out, you don't be mad and shit. So, that bullshit. Yeah, that bullshit's coming out. So, just get ready to not watch that bullshit then. Oh yeah, it was a goon, and hell yeah, it was on Demon Time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean he wasn't yet, just like what Theo said. No quarter asked for none was man, because he was launching all kind of shit at him every couple seconds. Boom, 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 run, Nick, run. I was like, damn. Ranger your way out of this shit. And they did. Oh yeah, yeah. Even before you said that, I knew that. Yeah, I ain't read nothing about this mug. Even before you, yeah, I knew it. Just makes sense. Why wouldn't they? It was my thought process. Yeah, of course it's going to be called War Machines. Yeah, got it. Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? But it was a great vehicle for Alan Ritchson. I don't know how seriously people take Netflix movies. I feel like, a lot of people watch Netflix, so we should take Netflix movies seriously. Chris Hemsworth had his run. You know what I mean? Where he, Michael B. Jordan had his run on Amazon, making your debut on the small screen as an action hero. I don't know. If it works, work it. You know what I mean? He's, big hulking fellow. Like I said, I think in live last night, I think it was you, Kamoyo, asked me. That's my Thunder the Barbarian right there. That's who I got, and just get a bigger motherfucker to play Ookla. You know what I'm saying? Big Show or somebody, I don't know. Not Big Show, maybe, I don't know. Somebody big. There are bigger people than Alan Richardson, is what I'm getting at. So, yeah, conceivably, that could happen. And Thundar's ain't a deep acting job. The way Thundar behaves and talks, I don't think that will be a hard thing for Alan Richardson to do, given the complexity of the character he played in Blue Mountain State. Very underrated comedic chops the man has. So, yeah, Alan Richardson. He's a guy's guy. You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy you want on your bowling team. Yeah, we'll take Al. Yeah, Big Al. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Almost in makeup. You should do that in AI. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That would be cool. He's got he's got that upper I could go for that. I could go for that. Let's see. It's just like there's no power princess, war machine, black DC 7 1. I ran out of big bang. Is your true? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hit it all. Unbelievable. I actually covered everything I set out to cover. Nah, go figure. Oh, I wanted to share this with you guys real quick because I am planning to do a series. If y'all like, I will order the books because I have like broken issues. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, y'all can call me weird. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but I'm thinking about collecting the complete collection of the Micronauts comics, the Shogun Warriors comic books, the ROM comic books, and the Godzilla comic books. Because all of them comic books is based on like a toy or an action figure or something like that. And them was all of the ones I fucked with. You know what I'm saying? I collected Micronauts. I didn't get it like I didn't get it like I didn't get it like right away, and I didn't get all of it. You know, you get an issue here and there, and just get because I had that issue that first introduced Captain Universe. And I'm like, damn, what I know, I think I still have it. I'm gonna have to but yeah, bruh. I got some, just collecting, man. Collecting. If you've been collecting since like the late 70s, early 80s, by osmosis, you should have some high dollar value shit in your collection. I promise you. Depending on the condition. You know what I'm saying? But if a comic book is in, because see this one right here, I'll be honest with you, it ain't in perfect condition, but for a comic book that was made in fucking 1978, shit, that's how many years? That's this is what damn near 50-year-old comic book. look at the corners. See what I'm saying? It ain't perfect, but you know what I'm saying? It ain't ugly. It's little, you know what I'm saying? It's a little on the flat side. A little on the flat side. So, it wouldn't fetch as much in the market, Look over here in the corners. Then that's where you got the glaring right there. So it's not a perfect copy, but you know what I'm saying? It's very good. Yeah, very good. At least if I was grading it, that's what I would grade it. And that's like, and if we got to put a number on it, like a high six, maybe like 6.5, maybe a 7, depending on who you get to grade it, But you know what I'm saying? Like, other than that one little blemish and it being a little flat, it's in I take pretty decent care of my shit. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all want to, I will do the story. You know what I'm saying? I'll cover it in a review. I'll do a story of Micronauts #1. If y'all was into Micronauts, I know some of y'all like the Acroy ears because the Acroy ears look like brothers. And I know for those of us who are up on our lore, and those of us who are up on our science, and those who are up on our mathematics, and those of us who know anything about Islam, know the origin of the name Shaitan, which was one of the henchmen who was an Acroyer that worked with Baron Karza. Matter of fact, it was Acroyer's brother, Prince Shaitan. That right there made me go, okay. All right, somebody digging off in some Islam, somebody digging off in some 5% nation, in some new gods of the earth. He done read his science and mathematics. But anyways, yeah, man. Micronauts was a good read. That was like the late 70s, you know what I mean? That's when I was like coming into my own, with comic book collecting and stuff. And my cousin had sold me like a couple hundred comics for like $10, and that just bolstered my comic collection tenfold. And I was him, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood. I was the cat, that's that cat that got all them comic books. So, you know what I'm saying? I was nobody. I was unfuckwittable, you know what I'm saying, in the hood on the comic book tip, you know what I'm saying? So if you was him, you was just him. But yeah, I will bring that story to you if you want to. It's straight out of the pages of Star Wars. I mean, if we're being honest, that's kind of what the story is like. You know what I mean? The crown is being usurped, and and the prince and the princess got to run because the evil baron is after them. And along the way, they meet Bug and a Croyer and Prince. What's his name? Not Prince, but yeah, Commander Rand. You know what I'm saying? He gets together, they helping the princess, and and everybody, they all come together, and they jump on Commander Rand's ship, the Endeavor, and then the entire time, Commander Rand is getting these visits and these little visions from these cats that he refers to as time travelers. We find out who the time travelers truly are in issue 11, where a Centaurian force commander battles a Centaurian, Baron Karza, and gets his ass whooped. And that's when, well, I won't reveal it to you, too much of it, but Micronauts was a good read, you know, and every now and then, because they came from inner space, they would come from their subatomic universe to 616 Earth. And so there were people like the Man Thing that would come across them. I think that Micronauts had a run in with Shield, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of the 70s, 80s. That's a good time for comics. That's a good time for comics. And I am getting a casting question. Who would you cast as Princess Ariel, Olivia Munn? Priyanka Chopra. Yeah, that's who I would cast. I would cast Priyanka Chopra. Plus, she's a little more. I don't know. Olivia Munn, you know, she kind of worked out for that sidelock part. So we were impressed. But yeah, I'm feeling Priyanka, because she ain't no stranger to the action genre herself. So you know, we do what we do when we do what we do. But yeah, this has been, well, also too. There you go. Spawn 372. I'll just say this about Spawn number 372. The return of Malbolgia. Uh-oh. Because you knew he was gone for a while, right? And when Spawn did his whole I'm beating up God and Satan kind of thing, that all of that was done away with. And I ain't gonna reveal it to you. I tell you about the comic and, you know, his association with the vampires and that whole thing. So yeah, Spawn is running towards issue 400 here. So I am pretty sure something huge is brewing for sure. So that 400 issue should be something. This one here is 372, but I'm for sure they getting ready to do some shit with Spawn, because he hadn't done away with the cape part and it's just the chains, and you know, he out there like that. So he had to get like some vampire power so he could fly. And yeah, bruh, it's getting deep over here in Spawn, man. He having situations and things he be having to be facing. But y'all make sure y'all pull up for that, and pull up tomorrow for Friday vibing. We're going to hit you with a little something different tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but I bet you I will know by the time we pull up on Friday. I'm lining up a guest. I'm lining up a couple guests, actually. So I feel like either April or May will be a month full of guests. So that might be a good thing. And that might catapult us to another echelon, if you know what I mean. Get where I'm coming from, bang? So everybody stay loose, everybody stay frosty, and catch us tomorrow evening on The Vibe, where me and Theo are kicking the bobo. That's it for now, y'all. I am going to slide up out of here, but y'all stay up, y'all stay woke. That's the way you're supposed to use it. And I will see y'all on the other side. Peace.